Hey guys, Mike here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. If you joined me in the last video, or the one before the last video, I was doing the WJ knuckle swap on the Dana 30 High Pinion, just getting it all kind of set up. And I mentioned I had some other parts on the way and they've arrived just in front of me here. So I've got some inner axle sleeves from Iron Rock Offroad. And I've also got some inner axle seals. I believe these are the ones made by the same company as Flashlight. Supposed to be some of the best seals out there. I got these sleeves from the US, from Iron Rock Offroad, as I say, and I was pretty happy to see that they shipped overseas. And it looks like it's about 2 inches by a quarter wall in Imperial, so it's like 6.25 mil and about 50 mil, just over 50 mil in terms of its external diameter. So it's DOM tubing, very strong. The idea is they go inside the Dana 30 housing, the axle tube, and they strengthen it. My intention was to run these sleeves and also use the outer axle seal, but the problem is if you run the sleeves, you need to cut away part of the sleeve to use the outer axle seal, because they're the same kind of diameter, obviously. So that's kind of a major loss, really, to buy something like this to strengthen an axle and then have to cut that much away for an outer axle seal that doesn't really work. I've shown videos in the past of these things failing, and I think I've gone through about 5 sets of these in my XJ's life, and also ones I've made myself out of plumbing seals and stuff like that. They just don't really work because of the deflection on the axle, because it moves kind of around 2 to 3 mil. Now, admittedly, on the WJ knuckle swap, that's way less, to almost, I can't see anything at all. So they might function better, but I'm still not willing, now that I've got both these products here, to lose that much of my you know, sleeve basically to run something like this. The only other thing I could do is cut it. So this is a Welding sleeve. So you can see I've drilled 3 holes along the front of the axle tube there, and there's also a couple on the bottom as well. I think they just say to drill 3 along the front and 3 along the back, but you can drill extra holes if you really want to secure it in place. And on the other side, there's only really room to drill a couple of holes. And it's a really tiny sleeve, but it's usually this side that really takes the majority of the damage, and it normally, the place where it takes it the most is where the housing joins the pumpkin. That's the place where these axles tend to break. You can see mine's been welded both sides, really just to stop it twisting and stuff. But if I slide this in there, and by the way, I'm doing this with the differential in but no oil, of course, but what I've done is I've got, after I've drilled the holes because of the burrs on the inside of stuff, of the tube and stuff, I've got a vacuum cleaner nozzle and just taken it all the way up, sucked all the debris out and all the way out again, just to make it as clean as possible. So that's gone all the way in up to the oil seal, and I know it hasn't pushed the oil seal in, but it went in really easily all the way in. I'm confused because I've not seen it do that before on any of the installation videos. Like, why has it done that? I mean, just going to test this one out. Going in a bit easier now. There we are. There's a few burrs from where I've drilled it. Kind of confused why the other one went in so far. This one appears to be doing the same. Yeah, this one can go in really far as well. Why would they do that? I don't understand. Because I'd be more inclined to put this in as far as possible so that those tubes go through the housing. So where the pumpkin is, you've got the tube going through there as well, right up to the oil seal. Because, I mean, when you put a new oil seal in, the tubes aren't going to be interfering with that because you're mounting the tube up against the oil seal. So the plus side is now I don't have to weld the tube to the edge here. And if I ever pull the axle and I want to turn the C's, I can do that by cutting the welds at the back and not have an issue with welds here. And I can now use the outer axle seals, which are a complete gimmick, but they're shiny. This is very confusing. There we are. What are we getting there? We can go in a lot more than that. Keep checking. Still haven't got up to the oil seal yet. Almost there. There we are, we've knocked it, can hear it tap tap. So I don't know whether they've made them to use oil seals on the outside there, but I'm going to run them like this. I'm not going to run them to the end because I think that having that piece of tube go through into the pumpkin where the tube's mounted into that, you know, that's going to ultimately add quite a lot of strength surely to that particular weak spot, which is the weakest spot maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to put some logic on this, but it's very confusing. With one of these bad boys, see what happens. Yeah, easy peasy. So having that mounted all the way back to the oil seal means I can actually run an outer axle seal if I really wanted to. I know I keep saying they're shite, and they are, but they're shiny and I want them there. Well, it's all back together, and now I've done this installation I can understand why people would have the sleeve end at the C and not push it in further up to the seal. It's much harder to weld. My welds look like crap, but there are a lot of plug welds obviously holding this in place. But I don't really see any reason why they wouldn't manufacture it to be just that little bit longer, because I mean, you know, this might just be me being stupid, but it definitely seems like you want that tube going in as far as possible to the pumpkin up to the seals, because then it's in this bit here and here, and that's kind of like a part that would require a lot of strength really, or needs strengthening on the vehicle. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something here. It seems like it went together fine. I have used the outer axle seals and I had to cut them down a little bit. So when I installed them, I used like a Tiger Seal seam sealer instead of just like RTV silicone. What will happen is there's not enough surface area now holding that seal in place, so it will spin with the shaft. So using some thick black seam sealer, straight in there, and yeah, letting that set, it's going to stay in place now. I was going to have the Zerks facing the other end, but I just know that then I'll never bother doing it, so I've just had them facing forward where they're going to take all the flak and basically get ruined, so I'll have to replace those in the future. We'll see how the seals do though. There's a lot less deflection on this axle, and the seal looks like it's staying in position, and these shafts are pretty shiny, they're not corroded, so that is kind of like important really if you're going to put these in. The shaft needs to be smooth. Alright, shut up. But that's the Dana 30 High Pinion turd axle complete. It's looking nice, and in about 3 or 4 months it'll probably look like crap again because all the paint's chipped off, but you know, I tried my best at the time and wasted more money doing paint work. But obviously the outer axle seals are kind of bullshit really, and they're probably going to fail inevitably, but I'm keen to try them out anyway with this setup now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you out in the wilderness in the next video. Take care.